What's up? What's up, everyone? Good morning. It is your girl, your diva in knowledge, Lady Mocha, here at Mocha's Cafe de Paris. Want to give a big ups to all of my subscribers who have been supporting your girl from day one since I started this journey. Give a big ups to all of my subscribers who are new to my channel. Want to thank you for supporting me and stopping by, giving me so much positive energy, so much positive feedback. For all of you who are just tuning in for the very first time and you haven't subscribed yet, I want to thank you and welcome you for just stopping by to check out Mocha's Cafe de Paris, your most non-biased channel, giving you raw content and a spiritual awareness. Okay, so I just thought I would give a big ups to all of y'all for supporting me and really motivating me to do what I do. Um, I thought it was imperative, y'all, that I did this content. First off, thank God it is what it's Thursday, right? So I don't think we're quite to Friday yet. Or is it Friday? Hell, I don't know, y'all. This week has been super long, I'm telling you. What's up, T193U? Thank you for stopping by. Steve Austin, Water Sniper. What's good, Water Sniper? Yeah, I would definitely I would do some content on that. I'm willing to do content on anything, if there's something anybody would like for me to address or do content on, hit me on my email and say, hey Mocha, I would like to get your perspective on this. You never did a topic about this, you never did a topic about that. Hit me up, let me know. Yeah, I'll definitely put that on my to-do list, Water Sniper, with interracial and swirling. I'll be like, oh, it is Friday. Okay, well, thank the Lord. Okay, cool. All righty. So we're almost to the weekend. But yeah, Water Sniper, I will put that on my to-do list. I don't have a problem with doing that, indefinitely. Um, yeah, so y'all know my email. Just hit me up in the event you need me to discuss a certain topic, or you need my advice about something, or you have a certain link you would like for me to commentate on. Just let me know. I'll be glad to do that. Okay. So on that note, I want to thank everybody for stopping by and hanging out with me here at Mocha's Cafe de Paris. Thought it was imperative that I did this content this morning, y'all. Basically pertaining to miserable people, toxic people. And if you're not careful, you will find yourself falling prey to people that are very miserable and people that are very toxic. The reason why I decided to do this content, there was a young man um, last night who I saw went on social media, and he was basically really, really venting about, I guess he's going through a situation right now with the mother of his child, and he was really on there venting, and I've never seen a man so overly emotional. And when I see a man being over emotional, I mean, I'm used to women being overly emotional because that's just part of our nature. But when you see a man that's overly emotional like that, that kind of scares me, because men who are overly emotional, is almost like a desperate cry, for suicidal tendencies. That's just my opinion. What's up, Uptown? Thank you for stopping by. I appreciate you. I haven't seen you in a while. Thank you for dining in with me. Um, as I was stating, this young man, he was, really blown off the handle. He was upset because he had just recently had a child, and this was his very first child. And the mother of his child, I guess there was already a rift, was already a real turbulent relationship. And now that she has, his child, she's really been giving him a run for his money. She's been doing everything possible to make this young man miserable. And I guess somebody went back and told her something that he posted on his Facebook, and he got really angry. He got really upset about it. He blew up. He went on Facebook, talking about killing folks and doing this and doing that. I mean, just saying a lot of stuff that's really worrisome to me, because I don't know about y'all, but when I see people going on Facebook and venting like that, I take stuff like that serious these days. You can't just blow stuff off now, because we're in a world where people is crazy as hell. You cannot just walk past stuff like it's no big deal, like, oh, well, that's just another nigga tripping, or it's just another broad being overly emotional. You walk past stuff like that, and then you look on the news, you see this person and killed themselves. They done went to the job and shot up everybody and killed everybody. I don't blow stuff off like that when I see people going on social media and going ham and saying all kind of off the wall stuff. If I know them personally, I'll try to intervene and talk to them. And that's basically what I did. Yeah, yeah, everybody, he definitely was at a breaking point. He's been going through a lot with this young woman. And basically she's just trying to make his life miserable. She knows how much his child means to him, and she's just emotionally trying to drag him and take him through changes. And instead of him, finding a way to deal with it in a way to where it's healthy, he's feeding right into her plan. Because the reason me doing this content, y'all, what you have to realize is there's a lot of miserable individuals that you're living around. You're going to have miserable individuals on your job. You're going to have miserable individuals in your family. You may have miserable individuals in your own house. You could be married to a person that's just miserable and toxic. You're going to, in other words, you're not going to escape not having to deal with miserable people. And the thing about it is, if you don't guard yourself spiritually and you don't use any of your common sense and wisdom, what's going to happen is people are going to drive you to the edge. People are definitely going to drive you to the edge, to the point to where if you are struggling in some areas, and you're very weak, and the enemy knows how to attack you. Once that person has pinpointed your weaknesses and they learn to keep targeting you in the weak areas, that is where you basically make yourself become captive into their misery. If you're not careful, if you don't use any wisdom and you don't use any knowledge, people will make you become just as miserable as them. People will take you out of your element and they will bring you into their element of misery. And that is basically what has happened to him. I had to reach out to him and let him know that you know what? I said, look here. I said, I don't know what's going on. I said, you don't have to tell me your personal business. I said, I don't know what's going on. I don't know how bad it has gotten for you. But all of what you're doing right now, you are feeding right into the enemy's plans. Because how many of y'all out there realize that you have a lot of spiritual vampires? You have these vampires that like to go around and really literally and suck the energy out of you. They will try to suck you dry. They will try to drain you mentally and spiritually. And if you're lacking a spiritual discernment, you will make yourself become prey to it. And that is exactly what he did. He allowed this female to stir him up so much to the point to where he was going on social media, posting all of these threats, talking about how he gonna hurt somebody, he gonna up somebody up. I said, dude, let me tell you something. I said, if do you realize you posting the stuff on here, this girl could use this against you? Do you not realize that she can go report this and say, you know what? This is the reason why I don't want this dude to have nothing to do with our child, because he's crazy. He has anger issues. I'm afraid he's going to hurt my child. I'm like, if you're venting in hopes of trying to, uh, uh, you know, win her over by having a relationship with your child, I said, you doing that? All you did was feed exactly into her plan. So now, what she can do now, you gave her leverage, and this is what happens when you allow miserable people to take you out of your element. When you allow people that are miserable and toxic to get you angry, to stir you up, to arouse you, what you do is you give them leverage. You give them leverage to make you look like you the crazy one, to make it look like you the one that's dysfunctional. And that's basically what happened. I told him, I said, right now, you making yourself look bad. You making yourself look really bad, and you going on social media posting all of these threats. Do you realize you are opening yourself up to become targeted from all different directions? I said, that's not how you handle things. You don't handle things by going on social media, threatening folks, blasting folks. I said, because what it is right now is what you have to understand. His thing was, he was upset that somebody went back and told her something. Somebody lied to her about something. And basically, he just really wanted a relationship with his child. And somebody went back and told this broad something, and she just ran with it. And now she doesn't really want him to really have nothing to do with the child. But like I told him, I said, if somebody came back and told her something and she basically believed it without coming to you as a woman and saying, look, I don't know if this is true or not, but I'm coming to ask you, did you say ABCDFG? If she wasn't woman enough to give him the options to express herself and explain herself, if she took what somebody said and ran with it, that is because she wanted to believe it. Let me tell you something. If you have a friend or family members, anybody goes back and tell them something and they come to you and they fly off the handle and don't even give you a chance to explain yourself, don't even give you a chance to tell your side, they automatically fly off the handle. That is because they wanted to believe it. They was just waiting for the opportunity for something negative to happen so they can use it against you. That's really what it boils down to. Because it should not be that easy for you to just take somebody else's word over mine, especially if we're supposed to have a relationship or a friendship or whatever the case is. Once you show me that anybody could come up to you and say, well, Mocha said this or Mocha said that, and you run with it, versus asking me if it's true or not, then I'm going to take it as if, guess what? You never trusted in me. You never had my best interests at heart, because if you were really for me, you would be trying to find out the details before you flop the handle, you get upset and you write me off. So I said, to me, I think that was just an excuse for her to run with it, because why didn't she allow you to explain yourself? And this is what a lot of us have to realize. You are going to run across people that are miserable and people that are toxic. If you have somebody in your life, whether they're on your job, whether they're in your family, or whether they're an enemy or whatever the case may be, basically what you have to understand is that miserable people need company. Misery likes company. We all have heard this saying 1,000 times before, and it is the truth. If miserable people see that you will entertain their shenanigans, they're going to constantly put you on their hit list. They're going to constantly make you a target. You may have somebody on your job, that you may have that one manager, that one supervisor who likes to throw their weight around, who likes to abuse their authority, and knows that because they have a certain position, they can get away with all kind of stuff. And if you fall into the plan of the enemy by allowing that individual to get you aroused by stirring you up, provoking you, you allow yourself to become that lion that they can keep poking at. And the moment they keep poking at you, now you're trying to bite them, you're roaring at them, or whatever the case is, you are feeding into the negativity. Because as I stated, you have people that intentionally like to go around and make your life miserable, because some people just get a rise out of making people miserable. Do you realize some people, they take drama like medication? You got some people that eat, sleep, and drink drama every day, all day long. So if you dealing with a person in a situation, whether if it's a boss or whether if it's somebody you're in a relationship with that's abusing their authority, you have one or two things. Either you rise above the negativity or you find a way to rid it. You're going to have to do one or the other. Because if you don't feel like you have enough discipline to not allow this individual to take you out of your character, then what's going to happen is they're going to put you in a predicament to where you're going to end up blowing up. You're going to end up um, doing something really out of your element, because again, everybody is human, and as T193 mentioned earlier, everybody has a breaking point. And you as a man, you as a grown man, and you as a grown woman, you know your breaking point. But the problem is, when we wait till we get all the way there, then we want to do something about it. Once you see a person is basically trying to test your patience and they're rubbing you the wrong way, you're going to have to be the bigger person and learn how to abort the mission, or you're going to have to find a way to mentally uh learn how to battle them by tuning them out and not allowing them to see that their actions are not affecting you. The moment a person sees that their actions are affecting you, they are going to constantly try to make you a target. They're going to constantly try to make you miserable. And that is the part where you have to guard yourself. You have to protect yourself from other negative people, from these spiritual vampires, which I say are people who want to try to suck you dry. They want to suck you mentally, suck you up emotionally. They would try to really drain you to the point to where you are the one that's on the deep end. To the point to where you're angry with the world, you're angry with everybody around you, taking that out on folks that ain't got nothing to do with this one person that's trying to make you miserable. You have to get a grip on yourself. You're gonna have to, as a grown man or a grown woman, if it's to the point to where you have no type of control over your emotions and anybody could just put you in a corner and have you so angry and so upset to the point to where you're threatening, you're going on social media, you making all these crazy threats, you're trying to retaliate and get back at them, then you know what, that says something about your character, because basically you're giving that person power over your life. You're giving that person power to control you by you allowing them to sit there and get you to that point to get you angry. You are giving that person control. Uptown, yes, he's young, and he's under his 30s. He's under his 30s. And but honestly, a lot of these young people, um they're not emotionally developed. So they are the ones who, the majority of the time, are the ones who definitely allow themselves to get emotionally overwhelmed. So yes, he's definitely young. This is his first time having a child, and this young lady, she knows that, and she is trying her damnness to make him miserable. And instead of him, falling back and dealing with it in a different manner, he's allowing it to get him to the point to where he's going on social media. He's black, he's threatening all kind of folks, saying all kind of things that could cause him to possibly you know get put in jail. He's not thinking straight because basically she has the upper hand now that they have a child together. So that is what happens, y'all, when you put yourself in a predicament with certain folks. And that's why you have to be careful who you lock yourself in. Be careful who you make friendships with. Be careful who you have children from. You have to be careful who you get close to. You have to be careful who you invite in your life. Um, yeah, that's the best thing I could recommend for him to do. But again, maturity has a lot to do with how maturity has a lot to do with how we handle situations. You have a lot of people that are just not mature. You have some people that will allow their emotions to get them bent out of shape, men and women. And what's surprising me is I'm starting to notice there's a lot of men that are becoming just as emotional, if not more emotional than women. And if you don't get a grip on your emotions, you're going to be one of those people that's going to find yourself getting in all type of devilish situations, all because you're angry and you pissed off with the world just because you're allowing one person to get the best of you. So that's why I'm doing this content. You have to be careful getting close to miserable people, because miserable people don't have a problem with trying to bring problems into your life. And if you are an easy target, you make yourself an easy target. You don't really try to get to know people for who they are before you trust in them. You make yourself vulnerable with certain people. What happens is people, once they have figured out your soft spots, once people have figured out your weaknesses. What's up, Rep? Good morning. Thank you for coming on in. And what's up, Matthew? Appreciate y'all for stopping by here. Um, yeah, that's what I'm doing, this content on miserable people are hazardous to your health. It's a lot of people who know they are dealing with people who are don't they basically dealing with people who don't have their best interests at heart. Rather if that person is a friend, rather if that person is a family member, rather if that's somebody you have a child with, your baby mom or your baby daddy, you cannot entertain the shenanigans of people who are miserable. Because misery needs company. Miserable people are toxic. If they're down and they're feeling at their worst, they get a rise out of bringing somebody down with them. It's basically that crabs in the barrel mentality. As long as I could bring somebody down with me. Good morning. What's up, cool gent? Thank you for stopping by. I appreciate you. You have some people, they get a rise out of just trying to make people life complicated. You know, everybody knows that one boss, even if it's somebody you don't know personally. It could be, like I said, it could be your supervisor, your manager on your job. So this particular person abuses their authority just because. You know, they throwing their weight around, you know, got you doing all type of extra stuff that you know is outside your job prerequisite, but they know you need your job, so they abuse their authority. I've been in situations like that where I've had managers and supervisors who have abused their authority. And a lot of it, y'all, what I realized is whenever you go on these jobs or these or you're dealing with individuals who are abusing their authority, a lot of it has to do with the reason they do that is there's other areas in their life where they don't have any control. So what they do is whenever they get in a situation where they know they do have some type of control, that is where they compensate for it. Because I had a situation one time when there was this manager, um, when I was housekeeping at a job like 8, 9 years ago. This woman was just really, really just nasty. I mean, she always came to work with a chip on her shoulder. And I wasn't the only one who felt the funk of it. And everybody who worked up under this broad felt the funk of her negative energy, to the point she came in looking nasty. She already had this look on her face, unapproachable, unwelcoming. The type of spirit she carried when she came in your presence just made you feel unwelcome. You know, you just knew she was nasty. And a lot of times she had no problem showing she was nasty. She didn't care what she said, how she said it. You know, she didn't have no respect, you know, for any employee. She would talk to us like we were children. Well, I told you to go do this and I told you to do that. I'm like, wait a minute, we all grown men, we grown women here. That is not how you talk to your employees. I don't care how big your position is. I don't care if you are a CEO or if you are an executive director. No, you don't treat people all kind of way now. But after doing some research, come to find out, I figured out the reason why this broad was so mean and nasty. She had a lot of personal problems. She had a lot of problems on the home front. It was a lot of personal issues at home that she was going through. She had a son that was really off the chain, disrespectful, constantly in and out of jail. She had a husband that didn't work, wasn't really making no money. And then on top of that, he was seeing other women outside of their marriage. So once I found out all of these personal things she was going through, I said, oh, okay, now it makes perfect sense to me why you're such a damn beast. Because you are miserable. And you have a lot of people, if they come in your presence and they're just being mean, nasty, and difficult, believe me, it's a reason it's a reason that they are that way. And it's not that they are justified in those reasons, but it's a reason they're that way. Nobody is nasty just to be nasty. A lot of people, when they're nasty or they're walking around with a chip on their shoulder, it's because they have a lot of problems in their life that they really don't have no control over. And that is basically what happens. Yeah, and Matthew brought up a good point. That's another thing you have to realize. A lot of people, I don't care how normal they look. I don't care what kind of car they driving. I don't care what type of positions they have on a job. Let me tell y'all something. CEOs are crazy. Managers, executive directors, all of them could be psychopathic, narcissistic. Just because somebody has a title, it doesn't mean they don't have psychological problems or they haven't experienced any psychological damage. You have some of them, they have become mastermind manipulators. They have learned to mask all of their psychological problems. It doesn't mean that they don't have them. They have learned how to conceal them. But if you're around them long enough, or if you have any real wisdom and knowledge, you will be able to pick up on it immediately. You'll just know, just based on the things that they do and the things they say out their mouth. There are a lot of individuals that are walking around here that have a lot of mental illnesses, and just because they making high salaries and they driving nice cars, that don't mean that they're not psychotic, that they don't have all type of mental issues. What's up, David Brent? I appreciate you for stopping by this morning. Um, shame, remorse, or regret. Yeah, and that's what it boils down to, Matthew. Some of them just get a kick out of making other people's lives a living hell and miserable. And the thing is, if you are vulnerable in areas in your life, they will easily make you their target. They will make you their target. They will try their best to make you miserable. And that's why it's very careful that's why you have to be very careful when you're in the presence of somebody and you see they're saying things or doing things that are trying to provoke you or take you out of your element. You got one or two ways. Either you address them about it or you find a way to escape the situation. Like when I was going through what I was going through with this lady and on the job I was working at, and I saw she was trying to provoke me and she really was trying to take me out of character. I had to go report her to HR, to human resources. I had to report this lady because you'll be surprised. A lot of when you meet these kind of people, they've been doing that. But what it is, nobody never had the balls to approach them. Nobody ever had the balls to call them out on it. But you have to pick your battles because everybody's not approachable. And then I also, matter of fact, before I even went to HR, I told her myself, I said, let me tell you something. I understand that you may have a position here as a manager or supervisor, but you know what? That does not give you the right to handle me like I'm a child. I'm a grown ass woman. I got children just like you. I pay bills just like you do. You got to go when you use the bathroom. Guess what? You got to pull down your pants and your panties just like me. Your title don't make you better than me. Your title don't give you the authority to mistreat me or disrespect me. I had to put her in her place because, come to find out, she had been doing that for years. Some people will do with some people if they nasty with you, that ain't been their first time. No, most of the time they have been doing that for years. And if you don't check them or put them in their place, it's going to continue to escalate. Um, Uptown says that's what Pastor says. Sometimes people have demons sitting on them. They won't don't let them loose. You gotta learn how to move around. Absolutely, Uptown. You really do. Like I said, you have a lot of spiritual vampires that are trying to suck you dry. They're trying to suck you dry mentally, spiritually. They're trying to drain you. And if you don't either remove yourself from the situation or you don't address the situation, you're going to find yourself being as toxic and mean and nasty as they are. Nastiness is toxic. It rubs off on you. It's a negative energy is contagious. It rubs off on everybody around them. David says crabs in the bucket every stage of your life. Yeah, and that's what it is. You have it's unfortunate, but you have a lot of people that are so depressed. You have so many people that are so unhappy at where they are in life. And instead of them taking accountability for their own unhappiness, a lot of them won't do that. Instead, they'll just go around and treat everybody nasty, treat everybody hateful because it gives them an adrenaline rush. Some people get high off of being nasty. Some people get high. It's something about some people. Some people when they are nasty or they are targeting people, what it does is it relieves them. It's kind of like smoking a joint. You know what I mean? It's like once you take that puff, them first one or two puffs, it just relieves you. You feel relieved. And that's basically what toxic people do. Toxic people, once they have made somebody else miserable, once they have ruined somebody else's day, what it has done is you have released them from their toxic energy, and now their toxic energy has rubbed off on you. Now they're at peace and they can sleep comfortably at night, but you can't. Because what has happened is that negative toxic energy has transferred from them on to you. Because either you're not addressing it, or secondly, you're not removing yourself from that particular individual. And it's not making you a punk. It's not making you less of a man or less of a woman if you walk away from somebody negative. What you're doing is you're protecting your peace. You have to protect your peace, because let me tell y'all something. Peace is too expensive. Peace is too expensive to just allow somebody to rob you of your peace. Before it gets to the point to where you're going out home at night, you can't sleep, you can't eat, you can't function, you are all bent out of shape. It's gotten you to the point to where your own family, your own friends can't even be around you. They seeing all of these changes in you, until you learn to confront that spiritual vampire, that demon that's riding your back. You're going to continue to keep being miserable, and that's just the bottom line. If I should get to do as well as my business master. Yep, that's true too, Matthew. There's a lot of people who have mastered the art of deception. Absolutely. What a lot of people have to understand is that hurt people hurt people. Ladies and gentlemen, I cannot give you something that I don't have. I cannot give you joy if I don't have joy. I cannot give you peace if I don't have peace. I cannot give you happiness if I don't have happiness. I can only give you what I have. If all I have is misery and negativity, that is what I'm going to give you. What's in a man shall come out. People cannot give you something that they don't have. So if a person is just giving you negativity and they're giving you bad energy, that is because that is all they have to offer. That's what it boils down to. What's up, Kurt? What's up, Curly Letty? I appreciate you for coming in. Make you feel inferior to them and be out of control. The shit out of them. It's the oldest trick in the book, Curly, but that's really the best method, is to ignore them. When they see you're not feeding off the negative energy, then guess what? They're going to have to find a different miserable soul like them to prey off of. It's kind of like a mosquito. If a mosquito flies on top of an object, and that mosquito can't get any blood, guess what? That mosquito is going to fly somewhere else till it gets the blood that they're looking for. And that's basically how negative people work. If you don't feed into the negative energy, you don't entertain the shenanigans, you don't feed into it, then eventually they'll get bored and they'll have to find another sucker. They'll have to find somebody else that's just as miserable and vulnerable as them, and they'll have to play on them. That's how it happens. You have the power. Only you have the power to protect your peace and not allow other people's negative energy to rub off on you and make you a toxic person. You have some people, and it's even more difficult if you're in a relationship with somebody. That's even harder. Because the truth of the matter is you are around that person a lot for the most part. So when you're dealing with negative people like that, rather if you have a companion, you have a husband, you have a wife, you have a boyfriend, a girlfriend, or whatever the case is. If you have a partner, you have a companion, that are not bettering you as a man or a woman, but instead they are dismantling you with their negativity, with their toxic uh mannerisms. If you don't find a way to either confront them about it or you either get rid of them, then what's going to happen is, as I stated before, it's going to make you a miserable and toxic person, because spirits are transferable. Negative spirits are transferable, and guess what? Positive spirits are transferable. You're only positive if you hang around positive people. If you think about it, when you're around people who want the best for you, who are striving for something better in life, it'll motivate you to want to strive for something better in life. If you're around negative people who don't want anything, they're just satisfied with getting by. They're just satisfied with getting over. I'm telling you, people don't want to believe it. Spirits are toxic. Spirits are contagious. You cannot be friends with all kind of people. You cannot connect with all kind of people, because the spirit that people carry will rub off on you. It's like a residue. You cannot sit in a perfume factory. You can't sit around a perfume and sit in a perfume factory and come out not smelling like perfume. It's not going to happen. It's no different, like for my ladies out there, just giving you an example. If you're around Other females, they are negative. All they say is negative things about men. If they're just constantly talking about men ain't no good, all men are dogs, all men are this, all men are that. Do you realize that sends that negative energy is deposited into your spirit, and you'll find yourself just angry and feeling the same way. That's why you have to be careful who you invite into your circle, because the people you invite into your circle, those are the same people you invite into your spirit. And same thing with you guys. If you just hanging around dudes that don't want nothing out of life, always bad mouthing women, always knocking women, it's going to give you this, it rubs off on you to the point you start feeling the same way. If you're around this dude and he's always bad mouthing women, he's cursing about women, talking about all women's are bees and hoes and everything, slowly but surely over time, you're going to be talking and acting the same way if you keep hanging around them. You gain that person's personality. You start, their ways rub off on you. Is basically what I'm saying. People's ways rub off on you, and you have to be smart enough. You have to have spiritual discernment to realize, you know what, this person is taking me out of character. I'm going to have to change my circle. I'm going to have to get rid of this person. Yeah, as that rep was saying, if you're self-motivated, absolutely, they cannot touch you. The thing about it is, as I stated, you have to be careful who you allow in your circle, because some people have a way of bringing out the best in you, and some people have a way of bringing out the worst in you. So it's a saying that you are your company. You are the company you keep. Even if you are a millionaire, but if all you hang around is, you only hang around with bums, then really you a millionaire with a bum mentality. You are the company that you keep. You really are. And if you think you're not, and you keep manipulating yourself, where that's just them. They do what they do. I'm not going to do what they do. I'm my own person. You hang around it long enough, you entertain it long enough, because let me tell you something, the eyes of the soul, the eyes of the window. And the thing about it is, if you hear it enough, people keep putting out poison in your ear, you're going to believe eventually what you hear. You're going to believe it, because you're feeding into it, you're sitting around it. And what a lot of people think, a lot of people think you can hang with people on a different level, and you think it's not going to affect you, you think it's not going to change you, and the truth of the matter is, you think you can change them by bringing in your positive attributes, by bringing in your positive energy. A lot of people think because they bring something different or better to the table, that they could bring that negative person up. But what happens is, that negative person brings you down instead of you bringing them up. That's usually what happens the majority of the time. You are your company. It doesn't matter if you're a married woman and you're hanging around, women that are whorish or Jezebels. That says something about your character. Because let me tell you something, as a married woman, you're not even going to feel comfortable hanging around women that carry themselves in that manner. And the same thing with you as a man. If you are a married man, why are you constantly hanging out with your single buddies? You know what kind of problems that's going to cause. You know that. A lot of people keep lying to themselves and making themselves believe they got willpower. Oh, well, that ain't me. I'm my own man. I'm my own person. You know how many people thought that, and they sitting in somebody's prison right now. They're in somebody's graveyard right now. They're not here. They're thinking up here, making themselves believe I'm my own person. I can hang around them and not do what they do. No, you can't, because eventually if you hang around it long enough, it's going to become normal to you. And like I said, the spirits is contagious. I said, you can't be no married man and sit around single guys all day. Sit around your single homeboy. He's up here letting you know every night about all the different women he done tapped, all the different women. Yeah, I got with this woman last night, man, she let me do this, she let me tap her like this, she let me tap her like that. You hearing all them stories? Do you realize what he's feeding your spirit? Do you realize that? You can't do it. Do not sit up here and lie to yourself and say, same thing as you married women. You can't hang around single women. You can't. You can't do it. Now when she's up here telling you about her sex escapades and what is she doing with this dude, what's she doing with that dude, that you can't, they're feeding your spirit. Why, ladies and gentlemen, why you thinking it's just simple conversation, do you realize that person is feeding your spirit? You can't listen to all type of stuff. You can't indulge in all type of certain conversations. You cannot be around that stuff. If you hear about it, you see it, you better abort the mission and flee from the scene. You can't keep sitting up here making yourself believe you strong enough to handle certain things. And even if you are for a while, eventually what's going to happen is, let me tell you how the enemy works. How the enemy works is, let's say if you a man and you got a home, you married man, I'm just using an analogy, you a married man and you've been friends with your single friends for a long time, and it's never created problems for you in your marriage, it's never taken you out of character. But what happens if one night you and your wife or you and your old lady get in a real ugly argument, or something goes left, because marriage is all about ups and downs and arguments and disagreements and stuff like that. And you so happen out with your single boys, and you right now going through a miserable moment with your wife, and you out with your single homeboys, and you see this nice looking woman steps walks into the bar, and you and your homeboy and you and your boy is like, man, who's that? She got a fatty on her, this, that, and the third, whatever. You know, because you're in a vulnerable phase right now, because things are not right on the home front, you could very well end up putting yourself in a vulnerable position, because again, we all are human, and it's no different with women. Women, and women, we definitely are strong candidates at being manipulated. We are easily to manipulate, for the simple fact that if we're around our homegirls, and you telling your homegirl, I'm going through this right now, I'm going through that, I'm miserable with my husband, he's doing this, he's doing that, and if you're venting all of your feelings to a miserable person, they're going to feed on that. She's going to give you advice that's going to put you in a position that's going to make you just as miserable as her. She's not going to give you any real solid advice to help you. She's going to give you advice that's going to help you join in on her misery. Yeah, girl, see, that's why I ain't got no man. See, that's why I'm not married. See, that's why I'm by myself. You listen to all that long enough, it's going to rub off on you. And next thing you notice, now you feeling the way she's feeling. Now you can't stand men. You don't want to be around men. You don't even want to go home to your own husband, because you letting this miserable broad sit up here and spit all this poison in your ear. And a lot of times, while you thinking people are sympathizing and empathizing, what they're doing is that they're analyzing. They're analyzing, and they're going to use all of that to their advantage to play you on off your vulnerabilities. Um, Rep says, as in Matthew says, indeed, hanging out with bearers, nerds, stoners, loners, etc. Exactly, Matt. Rep says, my last ex was like that. I told her what I will, and would not accept, and she thought it was a game until I showed her later. She would text me and said, but I didn't say her. Oh, absolutely. That's just the God's honest truth. You cannot entertain all kind of people, because everybody does not have your best interests at heart. Some people are only in your presence to become your downfall. Everybody is not wishing the best for you. Let me tell you something. We have a lot of haters walking around here. And let me tell you something. You don't have to have money. You don't have to be rich and successful for people to hate on you now. Haters come on all kind of levels, okay? A lot of times we want to say, thinking people can only hate on you if you got money. People can only hate on you if you got fame. People can only hate on you because you're popular. Let me tell you something. You'll be surprised. Some people are jealous of the most simplest things about you. It's things about you that this other person is admiring and you don't even know it. You don't even know it. While you up here crying and complaining about the stuff that you're going through in your relationship, and you know how unhappy you are or whatever, this person is up here jealous and wish they had a companion to complain about. Wish they had somebody to care for them. While you up here speaking negative on your situation, it's somebody that's wishing to be in your shoes, wishing they had what you had. While you up here complaining about your job, it's somebody up here wishing they had a damn job to complain about. Yeah, Matt says some people hate you on you, even at your lows and your outcast. Yeah. So negative people feed off of other people's misfortunes. They feed off of your downfall. And if you're lacking in spiritual discernment, you will be a sucker. You will be confused. You'll think that the people that are for you are really not for you, and you'll swear the people that are really not for you are for you. You find yourself in a position to be very confused. The enemy will play you and manipulate you if you lack spiritual discernment. The enemy will have you trust in the wrong people. The enemy will have you not trusting in the right people who really do want to see you win, who really do want to see you be blessed. That is how the enemy works, ladies and gentlemen. And if you are struggling with spiritual discernment, I advise you to find it, because you're going to find yourself getting pimped and played. You're going to make the wrong friends with people. You're going to trust and share your business, share your dreams, share your ideas. You're going to put it all into the wrong person who wants to see you fail, and you're going to run away the person that wants to see you win. That's what happens when you lack spiritual discernment, you lack wisdom, and you lack knowledge. I'm telling you, people, you need to look for wisdom and knowledge. You need to be looking for that more than looking to hit the lotto. What good is hitting the lotto if you don't have any wisdom and you don't have any knowledge to back it up? It says because they used to get in their way with others and they made a strong minded brother game change. Oh, absolutely. Yeah, rep. And it yep, and it go and yeah, and that's definitely the truth. I co-sign with you on that. Hey, some even jealous MVP that goes freak shows and side shows. Yeah. Everybody's in this chat room is pretty much on the same page. Like I said, people, don't you know, people could have more than you and still be jealous of you. How many of y'all don't believe that? People could have more than you financially, could be doing better than you, and still be hating on you. Yeah, and rap is definitely, it's not always the enemy, but what happens is the enemy will send these people to you to try to destroy you. Because let me tell y'all something, the enemy, he don't have a lot of time, so he's trying to recruit as many souls as possible. He's trying to make sure he has no vacancies in hell. Basically, people can have more than you and be hating on you. Some people just hate on your strength. Some people are jealous that you can go through something and you don't even let it affect you. Do you realize some people could get jealous of that? People are jealous of your strength. People are jealous of the fact that you are a survivor, because some people, when you go through stuff, they look for you to roll over and die. They look for you to crumble. People see you go through certain situations and they like, oh man, I don't know how she gonna make it through that. I don't know how he gonna get through that. I don't know how, that's gonna work out. People, when people see you go through something, people look for your reaction. They look to see how you're going to handle it. And if they see you're the type of person you crumble under pressure, you've been out of shape, that gives them a rise. But some people are so envious of your tenacity, the fact that you can keep pushing forward no matter how much obstacles you that's coming against you. Do you not realize that? People ain't got to be jealous of you because you pretty or you got this, you got a nice car. People are just jealous because you are a survivor. You go through stuff, they look for you to crumble. They look for you to jump off the deep edge. Like, oh man, she done went through all of that and she's still surviving. You know, and that's why even those of you who are in relationships, those of you who are married, no matter how much you and your partner go through, and even though to you it may seem like a lot or whatever, you know, do not allow other people to intervene in your relationship and cause y'all to divide, because you have a lot of miserable people out here who want to be loved, who want a companion, who want to be appreciated. And some people just wait for any opportunity for you to complain about things that are going on in your relationship, that are going on within your house. That way they could capitalize off of it and say, you know what? That's why I don't have a relationship right now. You know what? That's why I don't want a man in my life. That's why I don't want a woman in my life. No, you don't want a man, you don't want a woman in your life because you can't get one. How about that? So you always got to read in between the lines. People are so quick to tell you what to take and what not to take. I don't see how you take that. I don't see how you deal with that. I would have been left him a long time ago. I would have been left her a long time ago. You, and as soon as you leave, they trying to scoop up what you done left behind. That's how dirty people is. I done seen that. I've seen it happen many times. People have talked other people into walking away out their relationship, walking out their marriage. Or if they don't take the companion, you have some people, they'll try to talk you into leaving your marriage or leaving your relationship so they can take your companion. Or you turn around, you see them go through the same thing in their relationship. They taking the same stuff they told you not to take. It's all a mind game. I'm telling you, you have a lot of miserable souls out there. You got people that are miserable. They don't want to see you happy. They don't want to see you win. Everybody is not trying to celebrate your success, y'all. Everybody ain't trying to celebrate all of the positive things that come into your life. Some people just want front row tickets to see if something's going to go wrong. Everybody that seems good to you, it does not mean they're good for you. You have to have discernment and be able to read in between the lines and know when somebody is really a goddamn friend and know when somebody is really a foe. A friend is going to celebrate you. A foe is going to just tolerate you. There's a difference. I can sit up here all day and congratulate you and say, oh, I'm happy for you. But if I'm not sincerely showing it, if I'm not really, you know, showing you my gratitude, how happy I am for you, then I don't have your best interest. I'm only congratulating you because I'm waiting to see when you're going to fail. That's what I'm waiting to see. What's up, Ace Newman? Thank you for stopping by. I appreciate you. I know the comments are going fast, y'all. If I overlook your comment, I'm not ignoring you. There's just a lot of comments in the chat room today, so don't take it personal if I don't read your chat. Don't let them in your business ever. Where you going? I know them. Yeah, it's sad, but you cannot let everybody in on your blessing. Everybody is not trying to see you win. It's a lot of things I have learned. I had to control my mouth and not share all of my good news with people. You can't. You can't share all your good news with people. Everybody is not trying to see you win. Some people will show up to your blessing just to see what's going to go wrong. It's sad, but you can't share all your good news with everybody. And I be right around there when you boss people around, you're gonna hate people, everything they do. If you're right, boss people. Yeah, it's definitely like I said, y'all. Everybody's not trying to see you win. You have to use spiritual discernment. You have to if you're not sure if a person means well to you or not, that is the time you're gonna have to go in your prayer closet and seek spiritual guidance and seek and spiritual discernment and wisdom and knowledge. You know, because um everybody doesn't have your best interests. You as I stated, miserable people are hazardous. Miserable people on different levels, even in your family. You may have people in your family, your own family members is hating on you. Your own family members don't want to see you get ahead. Your own mom may be hating on you because you got chances that she didn't never had. Your father hating on you because you made better decisions than he made doing in his youth. Your own brother, your own sister who never did nothing with their life, who never tried to make a positive change, they get mad at you because you're doing great or you're doing better than them. I'm telling you, it's just a story of life. You have to guard yourself. You got to protect your peace. Don't hang around negative people. You hearing people just being negative, always bad mouthing other folks. You think they're not going to do that with you? You think if they're up here talking about other people, you think they're not going to talk about you? I mean, you think they're not talking about you to someone else? Uh Curly says they brag about what they have, show it off. Once you have something, they will talk about you like a dog, like the ones who get. Yeah, some people, and it's sad. If you only got a friend if you're dealing with folks that only want to talk to you when something's going wrong in your life, but the moment you have some good news or some positive news, oh, all of a sudden they ain't got time. They don't have time to hear it. They only got time to hear when something is going wrong in your life. They only got time to hear bad news. You up here trying to share your blessing with them. You're trying to tell them, oh, you know what? Guess what, girl? Guess what? I just got blessed with a new job. I just got me a new home. I'm getting married. I have a baby on the way. Or, yo, dog, I just started my own business. If they can't be around, if they can't celebrate you, when you doing your blessing, you don't want them around because they'll be the main ones that'll try to sabotage you. You do not want negative and miserable people in your circle. You don't want a Debbie Downer or you know what I mean, or a David Downer. You don't want them type of individuals in your life because eventually some people, the more successful you become, the more it reminds them of how much they have failed. Some people, the more the bigger, the more they see you grow, the more it reminds them of how much they're not getting anywhere in life. So you have to be very careful, with who you allow in your circle. That goes for family, that goes for friends. If you're around these certain individuals, you either got two ways to handle it. Either you confront them, you address them about it, if they're not approachable, because let's face it, everybody's not approachable. Some people you can't talk to some people. So if they are negative, um you either address them if you can. If you can't address them, then it is time to end whatever connection you have with them. Or if you're in a situation where you really can't just disconnect from them like that, then you have to handle them from a different handle them from a different aspect. You got to handle them on a different level. In the words of Maya Angelou, when people show you who they are, believe them. What you see is what you get. Okay. Once the person I showed you they left hand, you don't stand around to wait to see their right hand. That's the bottom line. Teeth and tongue fall out. Everybody has issues. But when a person has showed you more than one time that they are negative, they don't want to see you win, they don't have your best interest at heart, I advise you to get away from that person quick and very quick. Because the moment you start getting blessed, that's when you're going to really start seeing the snakes come out the grass. Okay? Because it's a lot of people with this crab mentality. Some people, they don't want to see you doing well unless they're doing well. Some people do not want to see you growing unless they're growing. And some people, and this is another thing too. Another thing y'all have to be careful with. People can invite you people could put you on to their success, and people can invite you and then turn around and want to fight you. In other words, I've known some people who put on a homeboy or put on a homegirl and said, hey, this job over here hiring. This person I've been here for years. Okay, and they bring in a friend to their job. They put somebody on. The person they put on become more successful than them overnight. Now they hating on the person who they invited. So sometimes you have to be careful with that. People will invite you and put you on to their blessing, but as soon as you start doing better than them, or you start getting ahead faster than they get ahead, they'll knock you off after they the one who brought you in. I've seen that happen. I've been in that situation. I was dealing with a certain person out on an old job of mine. As long as me and her was on the same level, everything was fine. Long as we both were getting what we wanted, everything was fine. But the moment she felt like I was getting ahead just a little bit more than she was, her whole the dynamics of our friendship completely changed. You don't want to be friends with somebody like that. You want anybody that's a real friend, anybody who has any real loyalty, they are going to be the same person whether you got or whether you don't got. If I'm your friend to the end, I'm gonna be happy for you, whether I'm doing good or you doing good or I'm doing bad, you do good. It don't matter which one of us is doing well. If I'm a real friend and I'm loyal to you, I'm gonna be happy for you, even when things ain't going my way. A real friend will understand we all cannot be on the same level or at the same time. We all can't be on top at the same time. It's gonna be times when I'm up. It's gonna be times when you down. It's gonna be times when you down and I'm up. We all take turns fluctuating. Everybody don't always stay on top always. Everybody got a down period. You cannot be one of those people you quit to have an attitude because right now you're not where you want to be in life, and somebody you're dealing with, they are. You celebrate that person's accomplishments. That's how you open doors to you getting blessed. When you can sincerely be happy for other people, that's when God brings blessings to you. A lot of us could have been blessed long time ago, but because we're so busy hating on people who are getting things that we don't have or who are accomplishing things that we haven't accomplished, we want to drink all this haterade. What's up, Jeremy? Thank you for coming in. Appreciate you. Um, Yeah, and that's true, Curly. People be setting you up for the fall. You thinking they're giving you a helping hand when it's really all about helping you. So I could pull a rug from up under your foot, or if me and you fall out, I can go back and tell everybody how much I helped you. Some people want to help you because that's their way of gaining leverage. That's the way of keeping score. Some people don't mind helping you. You have to be careful with this now, because let me tell you something. The devil could be kind too. The devil could be nice and polite too. You have people that will give you things, do for you, help you out, and the moment y'all fall out, they go back and tell everybody all of which they did for you, all that how they help you. So be careful with people that are too giving, that are just too nice, that are just, especially if your intuition isn't mixing with it. Now, if you don't feel a funny vibe, then that's different. But if you feel it in your spirit that this person is giving you and doing all kinds of stuff for you and is making you feel some type of way, that is your gut feeling, that is your intuition, that is your spirit forewarning you. Do not ignore it. I've been in situations like that where I just knew this one particular female. She just she just was too she was too down hard for our friendship. She was just too down hard. I mean, granted, she had my back, but I felt like at times that she was a bit much. She was, she was a bit much. She had this tendency of always, trying to always pick up the pieces, always there at my every beck and call and things of that nature. And at first and during that time, it was cool. I didn't see nothing wrong with it. But over time, soon as me and her fell out, all of that nice, all that kind of stuff she was doing throughout the friendship, this female became Lucifer herself. She became a straight demon, just trying to create all type of chaos, for me. And I had to really really go in my spiritual closet and really ask God to help me to be able to get out of this friendship. Because I can't speak too much for guys, but um I know for women, when it comes to friendship with females, females could become very possessive of each other in friendships, which is really why I don't have friends like that. Females could become very possessive. This chick, I felt more like I was in a lesbian relationship than I was a friendship. She wanted to know what I was doing, where I was, when I was going to be home, so she could call me when I got home. I'm like, is this a friendship or is this a relationship? She was just way too possessive. She wanted my time all the time. She always, I mean, we had to talk almost every day. I'm like, I don't like to be smothered like that. I don't like, people to like, just crowd my space. I'm a Scorpio. Okay, my Scorpio is my zodiac sign. We don't like people crowding our space all kind of way. We kind of loners. This broad was just doing the most. And she was acting like she was my woman. She had to know where I was, how long I was gonna be there. Why you ain't pick up the phone when I called you? I was trying to tell you something. Why you ain't text me back? I said, what in the hell is going on? I'm like, it's already, I got the answer to my husband. I got the answer to you too. Oh, hell no. I'm telling you, some of these females possessive. I had two homegirls that was like that. I had to cut both of them loose. I'm like, I just can't do females. I can't, as far as friendship, I can't do them because they expect too much. They want you to listen to their problems. They want you to be that every beck and call. They want you to be their counselor. They want you to be their minister. They want you to be their mama. They want you to be their sister. They want you to be their best. They want you to be too many goddamn people. I'm like, I got my own family. I got my own problems. I don't have time to sit up here and and sit up here and cater to your problems and cater to your emotions. I can't. I just That's just why I kept my circle small. People are too demanding. People think friendship means you supposed to always, you know, be there for that person. Not understanding that you got a life too. You can't always rescue them and always give them advice every time they got a crisis. I mean, be a grown man, be a grown woman, learn to deal with your own problems sometimes. You always got to call somebody and need advice. And then some of them, you can give them advice and they'll still turn around and do the exact opposite of what you told them to do. Or they'll turn around and call 8 more people. They need 9 signatures of approval before they make a decision. I had a girlfriend like that. That's why me and her ain't friends like that anymore. I had to cut off. She'll call me and have me give her a 1 hour lecture, y'all. A 1 hour lecture about certain stuff, about relationships or advice about her job, stuff like that. And then she'll turn around and call 3, 4 more people, and then she'll call me back and tell me what the other 3, 4 more people said. I'm like, really? Well, why the hell did you waste my time? That was 1 hour out of my life I can't get back. Uh, I'm telling you, get back. Like what? I get back on that. Yeah, I'm telling you, Curly. Some of these females, they possessive with these friendships. I'm telling you, it's like friendships with the lesbian. Oh my God, you find yourself arguing with them like they're your husband. I don't find myself arguing with them bras like I was married to them. I'm serious. You told me you was gonna call me when you got home. You ain't called me yet. Well, I had to do this, and I found myself explaining myself to them like I was married. I said, "Oh hell no, I'm done with this. I don't have no female friends, and I don't want no more. I'm serious. I'm totally over it. I got like 1 or 2 homegirls that I'm cool with, but we don't smother each other, and we don't suffocate each other like that. Some females is just too goddamn much. They are. Um, AK says, "What's up, Alex?" That's one of my homegirls right there. I hate to admit I may have been that miserable friend, but wait. In my defense, I love my friends that live with me. My thing is, we all go through our moments. I understand in friendship we supposed to vent and confide in each other. I'm talking about these over the top soap opera, hip hop, and love, dramatic like. females with these friendships. Them the ones I'm also talking about. I've had homegirls where I called them, I vented, but some I'm talking about these possessive ones that want to know where you at, what you doing, why you ain't text me back. I thought you told me you was gonna call me. I don't feel like that. That's just too much. That's why I don't have female friendships because of that. I had two females I had to let go. This one female called me every freaking day. Don't y'all realize it was bad enough we worked together? We was already working together on the same job. As soon as we clock out, this broad will call me before I even got off the job. Good. We just seen each other all day. I'm like, come on. There ain't that much doggone friendship in the world. What's up, Neon? It's okay, boo. I'm gonna leave it up. So when I log off, you can catch the beginning of today's content. So don't worry. It's like it's just life. We can't always be on time for stuff. Yeah, clean clear. I cannot do these fabric softener sheet holes. I can't do them. I can't do these fabric softener sheet holes. That's always clinging to somebody. I can't do it. I don't have time to sit up there and listen to you cry about a man that you don't plan on leaving, that you keep crying about the same problem. And a lot of times they call you about the same problem. You notice it's the same problem. It's never a new damn problem. I actually, let me tell y'all something. A lot of people don't want to believe this, but I was in a fatal attraction friendship. I promise you. I never thought it would happen to me, but I had this was like maybe what 98, 97. Yeah, I was in a fatal attraction friendship. What's up, Danetta Hayes? How you doing, love? Thank you for stopping by. I don't know who I missed. I think somebody's said they were getting ready to leave or they're going. If I missed you, have a wonderful day. Thank you for stopping by. I appreciate you for logging in. Everybody's chatting, y'all. So if I miss you, if you say goodbye and I don't say goodbye back, don't take it personal. It's too many chat room, too many people coming in. So I'm not ignoring you, nothing like that. It's just real about. Sometimes I talk to you about stuff that they got that could have text messages you about. Exactly. Yeah, I was caught up in a situation where I had fatal attraction with a female as a friend. This happened back in 98, 99. I was what 19 at the time, fresh out of high school. I met this particular female. She was like what 7, 8 years older than me, and she started off as a really really cool chick. We had a lot of things in common. I met her at the store in the mall called Claire's. That's why I met her. Claire's is any female in here know what Claire's is. They just sell earrings and accessories, stuff like that. And I remember she was working in there, and somehow, G2 take care. Take care to anybody who's leaving the chat room. I appreciate you for stopping by. Thank you for your support. Thank you. Yeah, I met her at her job, which was like a little ladies boutique. And I remember I was buying something there, and me and her, start off having a small conversation, talking about the things we like to do, places we like to go. And me and her, we exchanged phone numbers. Because I'm like, okay, she seems like a cool chick. I really didn't have no friends like that. So I'm like, okay, let me get to know her. So in the beginning, like a real relationship between a man and a woman, everything started off great. We was going out, going to clubs, just kicking it, having fun. What happened was over time, I was not getting along with my parents at home. I was going through that stage of being a teenager, smelling myself. You know how that go or whatever. So I moved out my parents' house, and I moved in with her. She had her own apartment, and she had her own apartment, but I had my own car. So we looked at it like it was a blessing in disguise for the both of us. I got somewhere to stay, and at the same token, I got a car so I can move her around, take her around and stuff like that. Long story short, when I say I started that movie Single White Female, If y'all have seen the movie Single White Female, I tell you, this broad became very possessive of me within the friendship. Um, it got so bad. To give y'all an example, I'm not going to go through the whole thing because I don't want to keep y'all on this chat for 4 or 5 hours, because it was so much crazy ass stuff that happened in our friendship. I don't even want to explain all of what I've gone through, but I'm gonna just give you one example. I remember she was one of those females. She was very promiscuous. She always had different dudes come to her house, come to the apartment that she would sleep with. And I ain't knock on, like, that's her thing. I mean, that's you, whatever. And she met this one particular guy, and her and the guy was vibing, and he had a friend, because at the time I didn't have anybody. So she was like, she's wanted me to meet his friend. So we went out on a double date and stuff. And um me and her and the guys had kicked it or whatever. And what happened was, her and her dude, for whatever reason, they didn't click. After they went out on a date, they didn't click. It didn't work out. So what happened was, me and his friend though, we was able to click. um we hit it off. Me and his homeboy hit it off. So what happened was, me and his friend, we continued to see each other, right? She found out that I was still seeing his friend. Don't you know, this broad got mad and said, I shouldn't have hooked you up with his friend until I knew me and his friend was straight. Now, what type of female, what female would do some mess like that? I mean, like, why would it matter? You know what I'm saying? That, you know, you and his friend, y'all didn't hit it off. So you mad and upset because me and his homeboy hit it off. So now you wishing you wouldn't have never hooked me up with his friend. So I was like, wow, I mean, damn. I mean, it just went downhill from there. It was some jealousy issues. She was older than me. She had children. I didn't have any kids. I didn't have the responsibilities she had. I didn't have the baggage she had. I was still fresh out of high school. I didn't have all the responsibilities she had. And it was a lot of things. Like I said, I'm not going to name everything I went through with her, but I saw a lot of crazy sides to this broad, to where I had to get away from her. I had to move out of her place. She didn't want me to get my things. She wouldn't let me get my stuff. I had personal things. I had, like, my clothes and all type of things I had over there. Oh, by the way, I appreciate the thumbs up, everybody. Don't forget the thumbs up before you leave this content. I appreciate it. Yeah, I just saw all kind of sides of her. When we would go out and certain guys would approach me and they wouldn't approach her. I just seen all type of things. And then when she would drink, because a lot of people, like, as they state, a drunk man, a drunk man will, how they say it, a drunk man will speak a sober mind, something like that, however the hell they say it. um when she would get drunk, a couple of times she done said things out of pocket. She said things like, you think you better than me because you light skinned. And I was like, what? She just started saying all kind of crazy stuff out her head. And I started just really putting all kind of stuff together. I said, nah, this broad here, she got problems. A whole lot of stuff she was doing that was not normal. I had to let the friendship go. I had to move out the house. I had to call the police so I can go back and get my belongings. Because I was not about to take no chances and go back there and go in her house, where knowing she would have the right to fight me and attack me, being that I was on her property. So I had to get a police officer to escort me on her property to get all of my things, because she wouldn't let me get my stuff. Um, so I moved out. At the time I had, I fell out with my parents, so I had burnt my bridge with my parents, so I couldn't go back to my people, which so that was my fault. Yep, Neon and Rep, it's a true story. Um, I'm not making this up by no means. Like I said, that's just, I ain't telling y'all half of what happened in our friendship. I'm not, because it's a Tyler Perry movie. um, and basically, I called my mom, and my mom was like, I don't trust this broad. I don't trust her. I need you to get away from Connecticut. You need to come back home here to Georgia because I don't trust this broad. I got a bad vibe about her. Something about her, I'm just, it scares me. And sure enough, before I was able to get to leave out of Connecticut, I had moved in with another female until my mom and them had set my tickets and stuff for me to come back home. So this cool white chick on my job, she let me stay with her for like that week because she knew I was going back home. We were setting up for me to go back home down south, to move back in with my mom and stuff like that. So this broad was trying to look for me. What's up, Annable One? This broad was trying to look for me. Don't y'all know she found the apartment? Well, she didn't find it, but one of her cousins or somebody found out where I was staying, that I was staying with the girl. She found out where I was staying. And mind you, we ain't had no social media, we ain't had no GPS, we ain't had none of that stuff. She found out where I was staying at. And she sent somebody to knock on the door to see if I was there. She was trying her damnedest. She knew that I was not going to be there long. So she was trying her best to find me so she could attack me. For what reason, I do not know. Because I didn't sleep with a man. I didn't steal no money from her. I ain't do none of that. It was just straight jealousy, and I think it had a lot to do with the fact, reflecting back, she would say little things that, you young, you got a chance to make good decisions in your life, you got a chance to, get married. She would say little stuff like that to let me know that there was just some type of jealousy there. At the time, I just was too naive and gullible to pick up on it. I'll never forget one night. This was another incident. We called ourselves going to the club because she stayed in the club. I mean, that's all we did. We stayed in the club. And I remember the admission was like $6 a piece. Now she asked me to come with her to the club. Now I told her I didn't have any money. Now we supposed to be roommates. We supposed to be homegirls. I told her I didn't have any money. So she said she'll pay my way. Now, me, her, and her cousin, we go up there in the club. You know how you got to pay your admission. The man told me it was $6 to get in. All I had was four. I had $4. I'm thinking, her's my friend. She gonna send me the other $2. Don't you know this chick looked at me like she didn't know what the hell, she didn't know who I was. I mean, a line full of people, and she just straight up played me and embarrassed me. You know what I mean? And her cousin, who didn't even know me, felt bad enough to give me the extra $2 so we can get in the club. So I really didn't even want to go in at that point, but I was already embarrassed, you know what I mean? So I'm like, well, bump it, I'm already here. And mind you, now this was on my birthday. That's what makes it so bad. This was actually on my birthday. So we go in the club, we sitting down, whatever. It was a club that had Jamaican food and stuff like that. So they ordering food or whatever, and her cousin had bought her something to eat, and her cousin offered to share with me. And I'm like, nah, I got too much pride. I'm not about to let nobody give me their food off their plate and all this and that. You know what I mean? I just wouldn't take it. And I remember she bought herself something to eat and bought herself a drink, but didn't even buy me anything. Now, this is supposed to be my birthday. We're supposed to be going out. You knew I didn't have no money before we went out. You know what I mean? You could have just told me you was just going to cover yourself. That way I would have known not to even come. So we sitting down at the table, and I guess there was this gentleman who noticed I was sitting at the table with two women that was eating, and I wasn't. So the guy approached me. Now I didn't even know this guy. This guy approached me and he was like, he looked he knew something was strange because I'm sitting at the table and two other females are eating. I'm not eating. And he was like, would you like for me to get you something to eat? Or whatever. And I was like, well, nah, I really don't. He said, nah, it's on me. I'ma cover it. I'll pay for it. What you drinking, what you eating, you good. And I'm like, oh, okay. I sure. And I told him that it was my birthday. Come to find out, what's up, Hershey Kiss? Come to find out, the guy was the owner of the club. So he paid for my food, paid for my drinks, and he gave me a shout out over the radio about it being my birthday. Don't you know this bra had an attitude the whole night? This bro had an attitude. Like I said, I just gave y'all a few stories. I'm not gonna go into that or whatever because it's just too much stuff. I've just always had a magnet for drawing crazy ass females to me when it comes to friendships. That's why I don't do friendships like I used to. Because I just always get these psychotic behind females that want to be friends with me. They start off cool, calm, and collective, and then over time, slowly but surely, their crazy ways start showing. Yeah, Curly. The guy, he actually made my night a good night. I came in there miserable, and he actually was a gentleman, and he didn't expect anything. He didn't ask for anything in return. He was just being a nice guy, and she hated on that. She just had a lot of jealousy issues, and now I've learned that when you're in a friendship and people start showing you a little bit of shade, don't disregard it. People start saying little, you got homegirl, you got a homeboy who's saying all kind of little funky stuff out his mouth. Oh yeah, you think you this, you think you that. I'm telling you, people start talking like that. You don't want to be friends with them. You do not want to be friends with people who get to that point to where they're throwing shade at any little thing you get, any little thing you do. You don't want to hang around miserable people. I realized her problem was, um, believe it or not, Rep, she's in her she's I think she's close to her. Wait a minute, I'm 38, so she has to be about 45, 46. And to this day, she's still not married. She still don't have nobody. She's still just as pitiful now as she was back then. It has not changed. Her luck has not gotten any better. It just hasn't. You have to realize, as I stated, and don't forget the thumbs up, everyone. I appreciate it. I got 22 people in here. Y'all side chicking me. Where's my thumbs up at? Y'all side chicking me. Y'all coming by to get some of this good knowledge, and I can't get no thumb up. That's how y'all want to play a sister? Oh no, we gonna have some deep conversation on me not getting these thumbs up, y'all. Ah. I see why, but she will blame the man. Yeah, absolutely. She was just one of them females. She had very promiscuous behavior. She was very, very promiscuous. She was very she was one of them women that she did not make the best decisions in life. She didn't make the best choices in life. She had a lot of responsibility. She had a lot of baggage. She had a bad reputation because she had been very promiscuous within that certain area of her town. She already had tarnished herself. She gave herself a name. So what happened was, any brother that met her in that area, once they found out who she was and she had that reputation, a lot of guys wasn't checking for her like that. She just, she was just one of the women. Um, she just didn't put herself out there in a good manner. So, she was looking for love in all the wrong places, going all about it the wrong way, trying to get attention. And basically, what women have to understand, and even men, decisions that you make in your youth, it comes back to affect you in your adulthood. if you're doing things at a young age where you've been promiscuous, you've been all over the block, let me tell you something. Even when you become 40, 50 years old, people are going to remember you from what you did back in your youth. I'm how many people in this chat room know somebody who's been a freak back in middle school and high school, and even though it's been 30, 40 something years later, you see that person in the back of your mind. Oh, I remember her, she used to be a freak. Yeah, she should have moved away, rep, but she couldn't afford it. You feel me? She couldn't afford it. She's still in that hometown to this day. Maybe that's probably why she's not married now. You know what I mean? She's too well known. You was certain things you do in your youth. True story, y'all. True story. I need to tell y'all this too. My daughter came home yesterday, right? My daughter, she's a senior. This is her last year in high school. Okay. And basically she showed me this video on her Instagram. I mean, on her Instagram account. She showed me this video that went viral in her school. One of the girls that go to her school was getting her back banged out in the bathroom. It went viral. This, I don't know who daughter it was, but she was caught screwing somebody's son in the bathroom. This happened yesterday at my daughter's high school. And my daughter showed me the video of this girl, basically getting her back banged out in the bathroom stall. Now, mind you, the video, what happened was, I guess, I don't know if they call themselves getting it in before school started or getting it in during lunch. I don't know. But the video showed as you approach the bathroom stall, you see his ankles on the back of his shoe. You can tell he was like, I guess, he was getting it from the back or whatever. And he was so busy drilling her to the point his ankles to the back of his shoe was getting ready to come out of his shoe. That's the first thing you notice on the video. The bathroom, the door was closed to the bathroom stall, but you could see under the bathroom stall his ankles. His ankles was sticking all the way out from up under the bathroom stall door. So what happened was, whoever had the camera, they put the camera over the bathroom stool. You know how somebody be sitting in the bathroom and you know how the bathroom stool has that opening to where somebody could like put a mirror or something over it and see what you're doing. And what happened was, this young man was banging this broad back out. And they recorded like maybe 10 to 12 seconds of it, but it was recorded well enough to where everybody knew who she was and who he was. And now that they have these camera phones, they ain't had camera phones. Well, they had camera phones when I was in high school, but there wasn't as good as now, because back then we had them flip phones and all type of stuff. It went viral all over her Facebook. It went viral all over Facebook. All of the parents saw it. And in the back of my mind, I'm like, you know what? I know this girl. I know her mother is going to be totally embarrassed when this travels back to her. And the thing about it was, she couldn't lie about it, because even though you couldn't see her face, the jacket she had on, the printing on the back of it was very distinctive. My daughter said everybody already know who she was. So I could only imagine the heat she catching today, because the video went viral yesterday. She probably not even in school, and 9 times out of 10, I'm sure they're going to expel her. Once Facebook saw the video, Facebook deleted it. Facebook had deleted the video, but damage is already done. Once something is put out there, you can't take it back. And that is why that's what that's what I'm saying. Choices you make in your youth, it could come back and affect your womanhood. Now this young lady, she's not realizing she has branded herself. She's gonna have to walk that hall of shame. No matter where she goes, people have seen that video. People are going to remember her for who she is. And these high school kids, they are cruel. They don't forgive. They don't let anything go. And this is the point to where I'm realizing, you know what? Some of these parents out here is not schooling their children. They're not schooling their children. They're not teaching their children right from wrong. I mean, it's to the point. This girl's self-esteem was so low. She's willing to let another young man bang her back out in the bathroom. He couldn't even pay for you a hotel room. Y'all couldn't even go somewhere after school. Y'all gonna do that on school grounds, knowing how many people come in and out the bathroom. I mean, come on. And it saddens me that you have so many young women around here that have such low self-esteem. They are willing to allow themselves to be degraded and humiliated. They are willing to be used because these young girls, they are more concerned with getting attention than getting respect. That is the problem. With these young girls today, it's all about attention. They don't care about respect. As long as they get attention, they don't care if it's bad attention, as long as she gets attention. Exactly. Exactly, Curly. Even though it didn't show her face, but 9 times out of 10, she has a Facebook account. So people don't went on her Facebook account to call her all the nasty hoes, sluts, or whatever. And the thing is, all of the kids all over school. News travels around fast because the school my daughter goes to is big, but it's not that big. I'm in Savannah, so it's really a small knitted town where everybody pretty much knows everybody. Yep, I'm sure she will be getting a lot of friend requests. And I doubt she washed. I know she didn't wash. And the sad part is, this is why these young children be having these babies. That's why they becoming parents at 15, 16, and 17-year old. A lot of these children, a lot of these teenagers are becoming parents before they get their first cap and gown, before they graduate, before they get their high school diploma. They already become parents. Not only that, a lot of these young people, they don't believe in using protection because a lot of them don't fear anything. A lot of them don't think they can get AIDS. A lot of them don't think, that they can get STDs. A lot of them don't even think they can get that stuff. So, 9 times out of 10, he about ain't use no protection. He about winning that raw. That's what I'm saying. If you got a son, you got a daughter, please school them before they end up in the same situation this young lady ended up in. Because that's embarrassing. It may have been cute at the moment, but what she's not realizing is she has humiliated herself. And if it was my daughter, I mean, I would be totally disappointed. I would be totally disappointed in an event my daughter would have put herself in that type of situation or whatever. But a lot of you women out here, if you got daughters, you better talk to your daughters, man. Stop telling these daughters, these young girls, they got a lot of peer pressure. They want to be loved. They want a boyfriend. They want a man so bad. A lot of these young girls, they are so desperate for boyfriends. They so desperate for approval. They want to be liked. They want to be loved. They want to be appreciated. They want all this attention. And if you're not giving your daughters confidence, you're not giving them self-esteem, they're going to look for it anywhere. I talk to my daughter daily. About her respecting herself. As a let me see. Oh, nothing. As a matter of fact, I'll show y'all a picture of my daughter. I normally don't do this, but um share a picture of my daughter. Let's see. 1 second. My things acting crazy. Yeah, this is my daughter here. I said my daughter. She's 17. She works. She's going to school. Trying to better herself. I've always taught her from when she's been 5, 6 years old. I've always taught her the importance of respect. I've always taught her the importance of having dignity and not putting herself in positions to where men, guys are disrespecting her. To where she's willing to do anything to get attention. As mothers, we have to talk to our daughters. We have to make them prepare for the real world. You have to make them understand that they're valuable, that they can be used, that they can be taken advantage of, um, that they can be manipulated. And I always tell my daughter that just because you're pretty, that don't mean you can't get taken advantage of. That don't mean you can't get used. That don't mean guys will not play you just because you look a certain way. You have to realize that if you don't respect yourself, nobody else is going to respect you. I also let her know that beauty is nothing if you don't have the brains to back it up. You have to have the brains to back it up. What good is your looks if you don't have any common sense? You don't have any wisdom. You're around here allowing guys to pimp you out, to use you, and take advantage of you. You will make yourself old before your time, going out here making grown woman decisions. And this is what I preach to her daily. Daily, I preach this to her and make her understand her self-worth. Because if I don't make her understand her self-worth, she will go around here putting herself out there, screwing all kind of boys, being promiscuous, if I'm not teaching her how to have any value within herself. As mothers, as fathers, we have to do that. Um, I talk to her, her father talks to her. We both have a relationship with her. I never make her think you so pretty, you can get any man you want. You so pretty, you can't get used, you can't get played just because you're pretty, just because you look like this or you like that. You still have to respect yourself as a young woman, as a young lady. And that is what I am forcing her daily. I'm always teaching her to strive for better and to strive to be independent. She's 17. She'll be 18 next year. She does not have any children. I'm not playing that. we're trying to get her to make decisions that are going to help her in the long run. And I think as parents, especially if you are a mother, and you got a daughter, it's up to us more so than the fathers. As women, we have to teach these girls. We have to teach them, because when they get out here in the real world, it's going to be men that's going to try to prey on them. It's going to be individuals that's going to try to use them and try to take advantage of them. And if you don't prepare them for that, you're putting them in a position of where they're definitely going to get used and they're going to get taken advantage of. So I advise anybody that has children out there, you got a daughter or you have a son, same thing. If you have a son, please talk to your sons out there, because these young men are having children and already paying child support before they damn 20 years old. But yeah, this is my daughter. She's my only one for now. I have enough problems in my life. It's enough. It's just a lot trying to keep her together. So I really don't I really try not to keep my try not to make my plate any more full than what it is or whatever. But yeah, so as parents, we definitely need to talk to our children, because I'm telling you, when I seen that girl getting her back banged out in the bathroom stall, I'm like, whose daughter is this? Does she not have a father or mother that talks to her? that's not teaching her how to beware of these wolves out here that will destroy her innocence, that will destroy her reputation. And I'm telling y'all stuff like this. And this is another thing. Never think your kids would never do something, because the main things you think they would never do, they do. The main thing you try to protect them from is the main thing they always get into. You know, so you can't never say you know your child 100%, because the way they act around you, they can act totally different in public, or when they're around their friends who manipulating them and peer pressuring them to do all kind of stuff, you know. So you don't never say you know your child, but what you can do is give them wisdom, give them knowledge. As parents, you want to buy them the latest iPads, you want to buy them the latest iPhones, you want to buy them the latest Jordans. What about giving these children wisdom, knowledge, and spiritual awareness? And that's for free. And that's going to help them more than Jordans, more than iPhones, more than iPads, more than the cars. Why not give these children your wisdom and knowledge? If you've already experienced certain things in your life, why not prepare your children so they don't have to travel the same road that you had to travel? Why not prepare them for that? As a parent, that is what you are called to do. What people don't realize is when God blesses you with a child, you have an obligation to teach that child right from wrong. It's more than you going down there filing child support. It's more than you going down there saying, this is my son, this is my daughter. You have a responsibility. You have an obligation. That child reflects you. The way you raise that child, it reflects you as a parent. If you have a child that's in prison, that's incarcerated, or has made a poor decision, somewhere you went wrong somewhere. And granted, I will say sometimes parents, you can give them the best of everything. You can teach them right from wrong, and the child will still go astray. That happens too. But I'm talking about you parents who know you got a daughter that's out here being promiscuous. You got a son that's out here being sorry. He won't work. He's not going to school. You see that you have a troubled child. As a parent, you should be able to recognize when your child's behavior is changing, when they're acting out of character, when you're seeing all of these things that are not normal. You seeing things that you know is not usual, for you to ignore it. The problem is you got a lot of parents out here. Let me be honest with y'all. You have a lot of parents, they don't want to be bothered with their own children. You have a lot of parents that are tired of their own children. They tired of raising them. They tired of taking care of them. They tired of looking out for them. You have parents, they are lazy. You have some parents, once their child turn 18 years old, they want to get rid of them. They don't want to have nothing to do with them. That is the time when you have to deal with them the most, because what has happened is they have transitioned into adults. That is the main time. You don't just throw them out because they're 18-year-old. Every 18-year-old don't have the mind of an 18-year-old. Some 18-year-olds still think like they 12. You know when your son and your daughter is not ready to go out there and face the real world until you have mentally, spiritually prep them for the real world. Don't be so quick to throw them out your house because you don't want to be bothered with them. And it's a lot of women that's doing that, especially these single mothers. I'm not knocking all single mothers because I was raised with a single mom. Not near one of us ended up in nobody prison. Me and my siblings, I had a single mom. And even though my dads were in my life, she did the majority of the raising. None of us have been in prison. I'm the only one who has a child. None of my brothers and sisters, they don't even have kids and whatever. No problem, Hershey Kiss. I appreciate you. Thank you for coming on in. You can always view the chat later. It'll still be up. Yeah. So my thing is, you know when you have a troubled child. You know when you have a child that's doing things that that is heading them a different direction. But what has happened, ladies and gentlemen, a lot of parents have gotten lazy. A lot of parents do not want to have nothing to do with their own children. So what you do is you throw them out. You get rid of them. You throw them out here for us, the world, society, to have to deal with. We're the ones who got to deal with these jokers that are being neglected. We're the ones who have to deal with it. I know a woman, her son was off the chain. She knew she was off the chain. Let me tell you something as a parent. If you can't do nothing with your own child, what makes you think the world is going to be able to do anything with your child? If it's gotten to the point where you had to throw your own child out your house, if your child is that out of control where you don't even want to deal with the child that you birthed, that you gave life to, what makes you think the world is going to want to deal with them? You, a lot of you parents, some of you mothers, you don't even want to have nothing to do with your own troubled son or your own troubled daughter. There was a woman that had that problem. Her son got so off the chain, so disrespectful, that she threw him out and got rid of him. Okay, she didn't want to deal with him no more. Now, even though she created that monster, she did not want to deal with him anymore. So what happened was she threw him out, and sure enough, he was out there in the streets for some months, going from house to house to house, because she never taught this young man how to be independent. He didn't never had a job. You know, he already became a father at the age of 15 years old. He made her become a grandparent. So he was already out there making himself become a man ahead of his time. And he did not have none of the manly tools he needed to become a man because he was still a child himself. So over time, he started indulging in trouble. And that is what happens when your children don't have a job, they're not going to school, they're not doing anything. Eventually, they will find trouble. And that's the bottom line, parents. To all my parents, you got a son or daughter who's not going to school, who's not working, they're going to get in trouble. I guarantee you. They're going to end up in some type of mess before it's all over with, because they're not being productive. They're not doing anything with their lives. So as long as what is it? A devil's I don't mind. It's a devil's playground, as they would say. You know what I mean? So you have to really, keep that in mind. And what ended up happening was, because he had no life, he got into trouble. He killed somebody else's child. He killed somebody else's child who was making something of himself, all because the young man got into it with his cousin or something. It was a very small dispute that was not worth somebody's life being taken. He killed that young man. And believe it or not, the reason why we got so much violence out here, y'all, and the reason why we have this black on black crime, it's a lot of angry young men who are taking their anger out on other young men. And that is where all the killing, and that is where all the shooting, that is where all the violence is coming from. A lot of it is coming from anger. A lot of them are angry because they have parents that don't show them love, parents who don't spend time with them, parents who are not involved in their life. A lot of these troubled youth are coming from troubled situations. They don't have fathers, or they have fathers who want to be there, but the mother is more concerned with the child support. The mother is more concerned with the money. She doesn't want the child to have a connection with their father, because she's more concerned about the check. So a lot of these young men and a lot of these young ladies, they go out here and they react out of violence because they're coming from a hurt place. They're coming from a place where they're being neglected, where they're not getting any attention. Their parents, their mother's not talking to them, their father's not talking to them, because mama too busy trying to get her a man, or his father too busy doing him. A lot of the times, children are being left on the wayside. Children are being left behind because the parents are too busy doing them. They don't have time. They don't want to be bothered. They don't want to have to deal, with the child. They're too busy focusing on their own problems. They're too busy focusing on what they're going through, and the child is being neglected in the process of it. But I know I have definitely rambled on today. I know my original content start off about miserable people are hazardous to your health, and I still want y'all to keep that in mind. Even though I've talked about several topics throughout this content, I still want you to keep that in mind, that you have to be careful who you share your energy with, who you allow in your presence, who you allow in your circle. Everybody is not good for you. Everybody does not have your best interest. So when you're around certain people and you start seeing sides of them that's taking you out of your character, taking you out of your element, that is time for you to start. This is time for you to remove yourself out of the equation and start making better decisions, okay? But I know my content has been very extremely long. I definitely want to thank all of you as my subscribers. Thought I would also mention is if you guys see any commercials or anything within my content, allow the commercials to play because that is how I get revenue. I want to thank all of y'all who have been donating because soon I'm going to be doing my regular videos where you will be seeing me back inside my cafe. So now I've been able to buy all of my equipment thanks to all of y'all donating. Thanks to all of y'all looking out and for supporting me. I have been able to get all of my equipment. So y'all will not be seeing just me with this black screen. I will be going back to doing my videos like I've always been. Thank you, Ace Newman. I appreciate you so much. Thank you for being such a loyal subscriber. Thank you for the donation. And I understand everybody who has to leave. I have been 2 hours today. So that's why I'm going to go ahead and shut it down. But I didn't want to close it out without telling all of y'all. Thank y'all so much. I'm so grateful for y'all as subscribers. I thank y'all for sharing, subscribing, liking. Y'all been putting my videos out there. Y'all been sharing them on Facebook and Instagram. I thank y'all so much. I didn't get this big by myself. I've gotten this much notoriety because of all of you. And I really want to thank all of you who have been rocking out with me. I understand if you can't attend every chat. I understand if you can't always donate. But just the fact that y'all are subscribing and y'all are keeping up with your girl, it really, really means a lot to me. That I have people who really support my drive. They support my craft because I'm telling you, doing things like this, you need all the support you can get. Getting behind the keyboard, talking to thousands of people, sharing your inner thoughts, giving all of your wisdom and your knowledge is not easy because everybody does not appreciate what you do. Some people are very negative. When you're trying to do something positive, everybody's not rooting for you. Everybody's not uplifting you. But I'm very grateful because for the most part, all of you as my subscribers, y'all have been very positive. Y'all have been very encouraging. Y'all have been very supportive. So y'all get nothing but love from me, your girl, Lady Mocha. Thank y'all so much. So just get ready. I'm going to be going back. I'm going to be doing my regular video soon where y'all will be seeing me personally. Not so much this avatar mess, but I had to do it because I did not have the funds to get my equipment and stuff. But now I've been getting donations and stuff. So I'm gonna go ahead. I should be able to start doing that. I would say next at the end of the month or the beginning of next month. So I will be going back doing my regular videos where y'all will be seeing me. And not only that, I'm going to be doing live call-ins. That's coming up next on the menu too. So that will be the next step to where you will actually be able to call in live and talk to me. Okay, so just get ready. So we're about to step it up a little bit more. I'm going to be interacting with y'all. That's coming up next. I'm going to be doing some live in calls. Okay, so that's next on the menu. So just pray for me that God continues to keep blessing me with everything that I need so I can keep serving y'all with my wisdom, my knowledge, and as well, keep in mind, I'm also learning from y'all. Every time y'all reply on my chat, I learn from y'all as well. Everything y'all I'm teaching y'all are teaching me also. So believe me when I say every teacher is learning from a student. So I'm learning from all of y'all as well. Okay. So on that note, I thank each and every one of you. And don't worry, Frito OG, I'm going to leave this up. Don't forget, y'all, I have a Patreon account. It's only $2-3 a month. You know, you get a chance, you can log in or whatever and pledge to my channel. That would be awesome. I'm also working on my book and everything. So I got some projects coming up. So don't worry, it's going to get bigger and better. And for those of y'all who keep missing out on my live, I keep telling y'all got to hit that notification bell. That's the only way you're going to find out. You don't hit that bell, you're going to miss out on some good wisdom and knowledge recipes that I got served up for y'all or whatever. So, you got to hit that bell. That way, when I go live, you won't miss out, okay? So on that, y'all, it has been real. I enjoyed y'all today. It is your girl, Lady Mocha, signing off. Remember, I'm going to always pour you a cup of truth, and I will always break you off with a slice of knowledge. I will talk to y'all later. Y'all have a blessed weekend and take care. Bye.